There is a massive problem hitting so many homeowners right now, and it's not nearly being talked about enough. Thousands of people are getting letters just like this that I personally got that's saying that their mortgage is going up. And let's talk about it. So here I have this letter from my mortgage company. And in it, it says, we did an escrow analysis, which they don't normally do until October. So why are you doing it in June? Makes no sense at all. But anyway, they said, you have an escrow shortage of $1,500, which means that you are going to be paying more for your mortgage. Now, this in and of itself makes me absolutely furious. And I scoured the internet, especially on TikTok, and it is a huge trend right now. Thousands, tens of thousands of people, hardworking Americans, homeowners, are being forced out of their homes. Their mortgages are going up. They didn't expect it to go up, right? They weren't asking for it to go up. So many people think my fixed rate is going to stay fixed. But the reality is that isn't true right now. I've never seen a phenomenon like this happen ever. Ever. Now, it may have happened in the 90s or the 80s or 70s, but right now it is a massive issue. Now, again, so many people are being forced out of their homes, right? Being forced to make decisions about their home that they really didn't want to make. You know, am I going to sell? How do I come up with, this is $1,500 shortage, right? And it's like, do I want to put $1,500 towards my mortgage? No, I don't, right? So they're saying that my payment is going to go up now almost $100. There's people that are facing this same situation, and it's not $100 extra a month. It's literally like $200, $300, $400, $500 extra a month. That is insane. That is bull crap. How is this happening, right? Why is this happening? This should not be happening. When anyone buys their home, they shouldn't have to think, oh, it's that time of year again for my mortgage to go up. I literally watched a TikTok video where the woman said, it's that time of the year again for my mortgage to go up. And it blew my mind because I have never, ever experienced anything like this before. I've never got a letter like this saying that my mortgage is going up. Never. In fact, when I bought this house that I'm in now, we were actually able to reduce our mortgage payment, right? Because when you finance a home, your escrow amount is the taxes, the insurance, the interest, and then the principal payment, right? But for the escrow, it's just taxes and insurance. So if you have a mortgage, you have PITI, okay? Some people have mortgage insurance, but if you have more than 80% equity or if you have a conventional loan, then you don't have mortgage insurance. Anyway, I was under the assumption that I had a fixed rate, 2.625%. Dude, I got in at the golden time to buy a house in 2018, right? And I know it's not like that anymore. But anyway, I thought I was made. This is amazing. My mortgage is never going to go up. I am set. And actually, it went down because I utilized the homestead tax something, and I was actually able to reduce my mortgage. I was able to reduce my taxes. And now, fast forward almost 6 years, getting a letter in the mail saying that it's going up because of the escrow analysis and a shortage, right? So here we are. We're in this position now where we have to pay more for the mortgage. Again, I've seen so many videos of people being completely blindsided saying that their mortgage is going up. It's not fair because we were sold that our mortgage is fixed. The interest rate is fixed. The payment is pretty much fixed. There's always a potential for taxes to go up a little bit. There is a potential if you have an HOA for the HOA fee to go up, but the HOA fee is not really in the mortgage payment. I'm just thinking in monthly payments in general. And there's always a possibility that your insurance can go up too, especially if you have a claim on your house. But after doing all this research and seeing all these videos where people are just literally being blindsided by their insurance company and by property taxes going up, it made me really sit back and think, this is insane that this is happening right now. Mind you, we are in probably one of the worst real estate markets ever, unaffordability wise, right? And I'm saying that as a real estate professional, that this market absolutely, hands down, sucks. It sucks for so many people, right? And if I wanted to buy this house again, if I wanted to buy this exact house again, 6 years later, I would have to pay over $600,000. And depending on how much I had to put down, my payment would probably be $1,200 to $1,500 more than what it is right now. Okay? So unaffordability is through the freaking roof. The inventory in my area is, I don't know, non-existent, right? And I know it's different everywhere else. There's places in Florida where the inventory has shot up. Texas inventory has shot up. But right here in the Northeast, we are in a pretty different situation than most of the country. It's still a very strong seller's market. But anyway, the unaffordability is through the roof. It's absolutely bullcrap that we are in this position, okay? Now, I want to say this. The fact that we're in this position right now, on top of everything else, to get a letter saying that my mortgage is going up, on top of groceries being so expensive, and gas, and the cost of living, and the cost of everything else, it is such a slap in the face to so many hardworking Americans that are doing our best to just get by. And it makes me really think, well, why? Why is this happening? And in my opinion, it is the greedy corporations. It all comes back to these greedy corporations. They want to control us. They want to have complete control of not just us, but the housing market as well, right? Like, why are these giant hedge funds and institutions able to buy up so many family properties? Why? That's insane, right? And it might be a small amount now, but that amount just keeps growing and growing and growing, right? The amount of cash offers on homes throughout the entire country that have come from these giant corporations is staggering. It's more than it has ever been before. More than it's ever been before, right? And we are suffering because of that. You know, Airbnb, that's another great reason why. You know, it's not the only reason why. It's a small portion, but look, Airbnb, and I'm a former Airbnb owner, people got, you know, this gold rush idea, this gold rush concept that Airbnb was going to be the next greatest thing. And then they started buying up like I bought up property in the Pocono Mountains, right? And it's not like it's a huge full-time resident community, but the amount of people who focused on buying up there, it forced out all of the locals pretty much, right? That wanted to buy. And this happened in a ton of different cities as well, where there are full-time residents. You know, and a lot of those cities put in bans and restrictions to keep people from buying short-term rentals. But like, it's just a fact that everything is so expensive right now. And then on top of that, we are hit with these letters from our mortgage companies saying that our mortgage is going up. Or you can shell out $1,500 to keep it where it's at, or $3,000, or $5,000. And the real life impact of this is very, very detrimental, right? Because it can severely affect thousands of people who can't keep up. You know, maybe they can't make that extra payment of $100 or $200 or $300. And then what? They go into pre-foreclosure. They have to modify their loans. Now they're going back to the mortgage company saying, hey, I can't pay this. Like, what can you do for me? And honestly, this is just, it's not sustainable. Where we're at right now in the real estate market is not sustainable. What has to happen in order for sustainability to come back? I don't know. I wish I had the answer, but I simply do not. And something has to break, and a lot of people want to call for a crash. The market isn't crashing. If anything, it's correcting. In order for it to crash, you're going to have to see 6, 7, 8 months supply of inventory across the board. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, right? The average age for, this is wild. The average age for a home buyer in 2025 is 56. The average, right? Boomers have a lock on the housing market right now. And I don't know when that shifts. I don't know when that breaks. But my job for this channel is to give you real, unfiltered looks and advice into the housing market so you can make smart decisions too. If you have to sell, you have to sell, right? It sucks. And I don't want to have to say that. But if you're in that position, you're in that position, right? And you need to make a smart decision. So at the end of the day, if you do need help selling your home and you need a great referral, you can click that link and schedule an appointment with me. Otherwise, if you just have questions, drop them in the comments below. Let's talk. Let's open up dialogue, because here's the deal. They want us to continue fighting with each other. At the end of the day, they want us continuing to fight with each other so we don't see what is really happening, what they're really doing. These giant corporations are trying to take everything over, and we need to stop them.